to test it for me?
Hi.
My mic sounds nice. Check one.
Yeah. All right.
My mic sounds nice.
And we're
check
already
two.
rolling, so whenever you're ready.
My mic sounds nice. Check 3. 1, 2, 3.
You're listening to the Mobcast Network.
Welcome to the Cult Movie Cantina.
Woo!
This is a podcast that looks at some of your favorite cult films.
And some of your least favorites.
Adds an alcoholic beverage. She's not here, so we're going to have she's going to take over that for this episode.
Last minute.
Right?
Oh, I just remembered my other story.
I remember I was going to let you forget it.
Delightful.
So from last episode, she has another story for this episode. And we showed it to someone who's never seen it. That would be that person.
Still me.
And me this time.
Oh, yeah, Kayla didn't see it either.
This time, yeah.
I think Steph and I are the only ones that saw this one.
Good luck. Big shoes to fill.
Yeah, so, and then we talk about it. I'm your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty, and I'm joined by, as always, she's not here, so she's not as always, so that's going to be weird. And we're also joined by...
Justina, your Jellicle Jester.
She who knows no movies.
Admiral.
At your service.
Addies.
And then we got our producer, number 2.
Hello, everybody.
Who does number 2 work for?
You guys.
He works for us.
He's a little older now, though.
He is.
He's a little older, so he's moving a little slower.
Yeah.
Undisclosed age.
You may ask why his cookie cake is still out, and I'm like, because it kept.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we didn't even have to cover it.
Right.
But we left the knife in there like Mardi Gras cakes, because that's what you do.
That's
Well,
what
see,
you
it's aged fine just like me.
Oh. You can find us on
Apps.
apps. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I got this.
Oh.
You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Cult Movie Cantina.
Oh.
Or you can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/Mopcast Network. That is hard to say. You really should have considered that.
Mobcast?
It's hard. Anyway.
Mopcast.
And then TikTok, we have
it's
access
like
to that now.
podcast, but with a mop.
We have 2 of those, but one got deleted.
So we
good
have
luck.
one. So we have
Good
one.
We have
luck
one.
finding which one it is.
It's the one at
we have an
Mopcast.
Do we have Instagram?
We don't. We will. The Cult Movie Cantina will have an Instagram.
We are on any podcast.
Yeah,
any fine one. If it's not fine, we're not on that one.
We're probably on that one too. So this is how it works.
You just
More particular.
And if we're not, just reach out to whoever it is that owns it.
Email me at scotty@gmail.com. Tell me that
we
we're not
want to
on
be even on the unfine ones, apparently.
the Farfanugans or whatever.
Or just reach out, because,
Look, the Xenomorphs want to listen to us too.
Sure.
Hey, did anybody... I had a call to action the last episode. Not the last episode, the last movie episode.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but did anybody do it?
No. And none of my children reached out to me either.
That's what it was.
So
Oh,
none,
yeah.
none
That's
of my,
what it was. There's recollection. It's a beautiful thing.
my friend Mike Everlin from Pensacon, he made some jokes about it. So I'll adopt him.
Is that your child?
Well, yeah,
Is your
yes,
child?
sure, I'll take him. I'll take Mike.
Caleb, your child?
No, Caleb's parents are actually here.
Did you guys find him somewhere?
They
'Cause Scotty
left him
would've
on our
put him in a
doorstep.
ditch. And then they're like, you can have him back.
Like, did this come with a receipt? See, that's why I would be a bad father, because that'd be like the baby would scream or something. I'd be like, "Can we take?"
It's like he's a boomerang.
Well,
You keep throwing him away and he keeps coming back.
Well, that's why you're adopting all these adults. Like, you
Right.
don't have to deal with the
Yeah.
part that you don't. Yeah.
Right.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Ideally.
Oh, real quick, can I get a real quick follow up from the last movie episode?
Okay.
Is Mackenzie still grounded?
Oh.
Yeah, that was on my mind too, actually.
Okay, so she got her. I ended up talking to her stepmom for about an hour, and we were discussing what it should be, because when she went back to her dad's, she was going to get her phone back. So we decided. Well, I told her, I was like, if it was me, I would give her phone with only text messaging and phone calls.
Basically, a jitterbug phone.
But literally, because they can shut down her phone.
Yeah.
And because they have that kind of connection, because they're all iPhone users, it's fine. I am the green bubble. Anyway, so
also the green bubble.
Shut everything down. So to me, it feels like you would just shut it all down and then make her earn it back. But the first thing she would earn would be like the calculator. And then the weather app. Like you would have to get the stuff that you take it like for granted before you got to the things you wanted. So Mackenzie did not realize that was my viewpoint, and when she came back home, they did give it to her. She has like Pinterest, and that she does not have access to the web, And she does not have Facebook or Instagram, and obviously not Snapchat and TikTok, because
that's what she wants.
What got it. Yeah,
that's what the kids want.
That's what got her in trouble.
So she doesn't have like social media, but she does have Pinterest.
Yeah.
But and not the web, because she could access social media.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, she got that. She was like, they told me that you said you would shut my whole phone down, and I didn't think that's what you would do, and that kind of hurt my feelings. I was like, well, I'm sorry. Like, I told them to call me if they wanted me to be part of it, or for me to go over there, but I 100% believe you should have earned your whole phone back. Like, you lied to us twice doing the same thing, and the first time we gave you the thing you lied about, because she had actually snuck an Instagram account at the very beginning that started our social media conversation. Right. So, and then we gave it to her because we realized we were being harsh. So then it's like, fool me once, kid, but the second time, no, your life should have ended. Like, all of it's gone. So she does have her phone back. She hasn't earned anything else from there, but we have gotten a lot better at communicating with her and her with us. So it's been a good journey. So yeah,
it reminded me of a story from Twitter that's most likely fake but still fun.
Okay. She doesn't have that either.
So this young lady, this was from 2019. I'm leaving forever. My mom took my phone. I'll miss you. I'm crying. Goodbye. And then over the next few days, she tweeted she found some other devices, including her Nintendo Wii. And then you can see images where she's like, hello, my mom took my phone and Nintendo DS, so I have no choice to use but my Wii. Thank you for all the support and love. I will answer and follow back when I have a stable connection to Twitter. Thank you. Sorry. Goodbye. And then like,
thank you. Sorry. Goodbye. Okay.
And then she finally texts in a desperation, goes, LG smart refrigerator, she wrote. I don't know if this thing is going to tweet. I'm talking to my fridge. What the heck? My mom confiscated all my electronics again.
I think I actually remember the fridge.
And if you look from the thing.
In the fridge. That's an addict. That is a
so
problem.
Well, like what we talked about last time, I was like, I remember this story. And it's probably not true, but it still makes me happy.
Yeah, I remember. I remember the fridge.
The fridge. So she's like tweeting from her fridge. That's great.
Fantastic.
That's great.
She did. I heard her. Like, when she had gotten home, I heard her talking in her room, and I opened the door, like, right after she got in trouble. And I was like, are you talking to someone? She's like, yes. I was like, how? Through her Echo. And I was like, okay, are you allowed to do that? Because I don't know the parameters of your punishment, because it was your dad that did it, but I want to maintain that across households.
Right, because you're
she was like, no, like, he lets me play on the Xbox still and chat with people that way. And it's like, okay, I just need you to know. That's not how I would have done it, but okay, fine.
You lucky.
All right.
Yeah.
But I did verify with him that she was allowed to do that, because she lost my trust, man.
Yep.
Sucks.
Well, this movie's about trust that we watched.
Fair is fair.
Fair is fair. We watched The Legend of Billie Jean from 1985.
That is the year.
Directed by Matthew Robbins.
The person?
Yes.
Yes.
Who directed some other stuff. Like, Kayla looked him up. I did too, and I forgot to list it. But Kayla was like, I like some of this guy's movies.
Well, because he did what is it?
Dracula?
No, Dragon something.
Dragon Slayer?
Oh, he did Dragon Slayer and
Dragon
from
Slayer,
81.
yeah. Which I like Dragon Slayer.
Dragon
Slayer. He did Dragon Slayer first, and he did something right afterwards.
He did Amazing Stories right after, and then Batteries Not Included.
Which is McGarris's story.
Once again, another good film. Like,
and so, so this is written by Mark Rosenthal and Lawrence Connor. So there was two guys that wrote this movie. Mm-hmm. Stars Helen Slater as Billie Jean, the titular star, I guess. Christian Slater as her brother Binks. Keith Gordon as Lloyd. Richard Bradford as Pyatt, who's the bad guy. Peter Coyote as Ringwald, who's the cop.
Like him.
Martha Gurman as Ophelia. She's the one who drives the car. Because I don't think they ever say her name at all in the movie.
I think she does a couple times.
Or it's listed in like the wanted stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And my favorite.
My absolute favorite person. Go ahead.
My favorite person in this movie
Putter.
is
Putter.
Putter. Played
the first time she said a word, I was like, "That's my favorite."
I like.
All right. So
I
played
like,
by Yeardley Smith,
Yep.
Yardley Smith, who is Lisa Simpson.
Yep.
Really?
Yes, Lisa Simpson.
Didn't the Lisa Simpson just die?
No.
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 Now, who am I thinking of then? There was a voice of somebody that just died not long ago. Was it Marge Simpson?
No, the Simpsons are still alive, so as far as I know,
Oh, interesting.
unless like that happened today.
No, it's been a couple weeks. Not long, but it's been a couple weeks. Anyway, that's fun.
And then Stephanie's relative, Dean Stockwell, as Mulder.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I gotta find out. The cult meeting will find out their connection. I know they're related, so
We have to figure out why
Why?
they're related. How? Where did it come from?
Putter's my damn favorite character in this damn movie.
She's the best.
Yeah,
Putter's great.
I like Putter, Ophelia.
She-
I thought of
Putter?
Mackenzie too because like
Yeah.
Putter was grounded.
I'm like, aren't you grounded? So? But my favorite thing she did is pour all of the marbles from the fish tank
Yeah.
into her bag. And it's like, was there a pet in there? The whole time I've been thinking, like, 'cause there's no water.
I do think though Putter gets grounded too much, like on a butterscotch from the South Park level of getting grounded. Like, oh, you went out to go to file a police report with your friends. You're grounded.
Well, she was already grounded.
Yeah,
so,
I know. Yeah,
mean,
but
So
seems like everybody in that neighborhood was in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass this over to you now.
Oh, we got some fun facts.
Fun facts.
All right, well, Scotty, we don't have a friend this time because we were supposed to have a friend.
Yeah, our friend couldn't make it.
So let me pull out the 80s. Don't mind.
All right,
Those are the
we got
90s.
Caleb. Me
Yeah.
and number 2 can play the 80s.
yeah, I'll play.
Caleb may or may not have been alive in the 80s.
I will go say no, he wasn't. I was though.
Nobody knows, though.
But I don't know for a fact, but I'm guessing. I'm gonna guess that he was not around in the 80s.
This is one of his favorite colors. Pickle green. I'm just kidding. This is mint green.
I like mint green.
He likes green.
I like mints.
Can't see it.
Delightful. Scotty can't see these cards, so he's going to do poorly.
Yeah, they're John Cena to him.
John Cena.
Like if this were the box, he wouldn't care what's inside. He can't see it anyway. Okay.
Is that Schrodinger's trivia questions?
Oh, isn't that 7? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
All right, so how are we doing this? You're asking individual questions?
I just like to ask it, and whoever can answer it can answer
Oh,
it.
okay.
Okay.
Because I think it only needs to be competitive. Stephanie's here because she cares. Because she cares.
Steph gets
Yeah,
into
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Steph
yeah.
does get into it.
Who sang the title track of the James Bond film License to Kill?
That would be Duran Duran.
I don't know if that's correct or not because these are just names, and the band Duran Duran is not on here.
Oh, no. No, that was License to Kill. Sorry, that was View to Kill. That's 85. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's this year. So, no, I was wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. License.
I'm going to give you the 4 options. Are
Please
you
do.
ready?
Yeah.
A. Madonna.
No.
B. Aretha Franklin. C. Diana Ross. Or D. Gladys Knight.
I'll go with Dinah Ross.
I'll go with
Those arcade music.
Franklin. I'll go with Franklin.
Aretha. He going Aretha.
It was Gladys Knight.
Oh, we were both wrong.
That was my other. Yeah, I
See-
second guessed myself.
Yeah, I was there too. I knew it wasn't Madonna or Aretha.
No winners.
No, we're
We're
down.
off to a good
Bed
start.
start.
Yeah.
Trivia from the 80s, number 2.
Okay.
Number 2. What color were the tigers on the cover of Michael Jackson's Thriller?
White.
Just to be the opposite, or like just tigers.
It's white.
Yeah. No, I figured.
I
but
forgot there was
It's
tigers on the
orange,
cover of the
white,
album.
Orange and black or yellow.
Yeah, like I figured.
forgot
they were,
about it.
I figured they were white.
It was on the A-fold. Yeah, I totally forgot because you just got him all like leaning back cool on the front
Yeah.
on the cover.
That's how cool Michael Jackson was. Nobody even noticed the white tigers. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I want in my life.
That is a solid
I want to
album.
be
That album
surrounded
was
by
so solid.
tigers and nobody see the.
And
they're
in
there.
fact, on my way home, I will probably listen to it. I love Thriller. It's a good album.
What year did Beverly Hills Cop get released in 1980?
84.
83.
It is 1984.
Yeah.
Because I knew it wasn't 85 because I know what the top movies are for this. We've done a lot of 85 movies we all should know, but y'all don't.
Don't judge me. Next question. Which 80s film features a group of teens getting sent to detention?
Breakfast Club.
Yeah, he's got it. It's Breakfast Club.
It is.
Yeah.
The options were 16 Candles, Pretty in
Nope.
Pink,
Nope.
The Breakfast Club,
Yep.
or Footloose.
No.
So it's all of John Hughes films except one.
Yeah, except one. Yeah.
All right, next
They're all good.
question. On what sitcom did Kirk Cameron play Mike Seaver?
Growing Pains.
I know none of those names at all. Silver Spoons, Punky Brewster, Charles in Charge, or Growing Pains.
Silver Spoons was a movie. Was a TV show about Ricky Schroeder living with his dad, who's super rich, and so he.
That makes sense. Silver Spoons.
Mhm.
Punky Brewster is about an orphan that was living in like an abandoned apartment building that gets adopted by an
Vastly
old guy.
different than the story before.
Yeah, I loved Punky Brewster. That was my show when I was little. And what was the other one?
Charles in Charge.
Oh,
Scott Baio is in charge of a bunch of kids. He's a babysitter.
Yeah.
Charles in charge of my days and my nights. Sorry. I'm
Well done.
Charles in charge of me.
Who was the lead singer of the Police?
Oh, I don't know.
Sting,
Oh, yeah,
I didn't
that's
know
right.
that.
also named Gordon Sumner.
Oh, I should have known that.
Sting, though. The other
What's-
ones are Robert Smith, Dickie Barrett, or Billy Joe.
Look, all I care about with Sting is that he was in Dune.
Word. You ever seen The Bride?
No.
Oh man, we need to do The Bride on the podcast. I would do Dune, but like they would bore.
It would bore them so much.
It would bore them so much. You and I would be like jiving though.
All right, we're going to take it down a notch here and get a little serious.
All right.
In 1985,
The year of this
the
movie.
Live Aid concert
Mm.
raised $127 million. For what cause?
Hunger in Africa.
I'm going to read off some examples
Yeah.
because the title's not quite exact. AIDS benefit,
Yeah, it was AIDS.
famine relief in Africa,
Famine relief in Africa.
Mexico earthquake, USA for Africa.
Oh, you're right. Ooh.
I'm going sticking with famine. I don't think it was an AIDS thing.
Yeah, but I just like
'Cause
to
it's
say
85,
USA for
Yeah,
Africa,
you're right,
so it's
yeah.
fine.
85 is still the gay cancer.
Yeah,
so.
you're right. Yeah.
But you're right. It's famine relief for Africa.
Yeah, they
in
weren't-
Africa, excuse me.
Yeah. Because in 85 it's still the gay cancer. They're like, we don't want to do anything about that.
Yeah.
Rock Hudson hadn't even died from it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this one's going to be real tough for Caleb, or real easy for Caleb.
Depending.
It's unclear based on his age. Okay. Which TV channel forever changed television and music in 1981?
MTV.
Okay, Caleb, shut up. I'm going to go with Lifetime. Lifetime.
Television for women.
Lifetime changed television for sure, just not for music.
Not for music. That is correct, MTV. The first one on here is MUZ TV. Is that real?
Music?
No.
Yeah.
MUZ TV?
Oh, I'm thinking Much Music. That's in
No.
Canada.
MUZ-TV?
Who knows?
You know what's really changed television for music? VH1.
Music.
That was music for old people.
Yeah.
All the hip stuff went to MTV, and all
Yep.
the R&B and contemporary went
Which
to
it
VH1.
didn't even really matter because by the time VH1 came out, they stopped doing music videos on MTV anyways.
No, there was a time when they were overlapped for years, actually.
He was too young or old to realize.
Right.
Yeah, I'm old. I can't remember.
All right, I'm going to give a name, and then you're going to tell me what they directed. And I'm going to see if you can... So the question actually says, who directed blank?
Mhm.
But I'm going to give you the name first and see if you know what the title of the question is.
So
To
now
both
we're-
of us
now
or to Caleb?
Now we're doing Jeopardy rules. Got it.
Kind of. Yeah.
Did we have to answer in the form of a question?
What film did... It's just open, so I don't care who
Mhm.
answers. John G. Avildsen. Avildsen. Direct. Avildsen, yeah. Avildsen. John G. Avildsen directed this movie in the 80s.
I don't know this one.
I'm
Yeah.
a little disappointed in you, Scotty.
Because I don't know that I like
You know-
the
come on, Rayman. If I threw down James Cameron, would you know one?
yeah
From 1980?
the Terminator 84.
Yeah.
Okay. John Carpenter?
Plenty.
Yeah, plenty. I could do a Conrad in an
No,
order
no,
that would
no,
be
no, shut it down. Steven Spielberg in the 80s?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. How about John G. Avildsen in the 80s?
No, I don't know.
I don't know
What do
who
you make?
that
You
is.
know what? Let's just reset this moment. Let me just wax it on and off.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then see if it comes to you.
Sure.
Karate Kid.
Thank you. Scotty was like, "Yeah, sure, wax it on off. It's fine." The Karate Kid. He directed the Karate Kid.
Sure.
I got your.
But he didn't do the other three.
I got your reference.
Thank you. Thanks, bud. As far as I got, I think he stands on one leg on a thing in the water at some point.
Is that what?
No, we haven't done that. We need to do that.
Is that what you appreciate about me?
That's what I appreciate about you.
Steph hates it, so we need to do it.
Last question. What was the second fruit on the original Pac-Man?
Strawberry.
Well done. It is strawberry.
We are nerds.
You are nerds. That was my takeaway from that moment.
Yeah, because the first is cherry.
So I will say Scotty
What's
won
the
by
third?
1 point.
What's
so
the third?
Yeah, it's banana.
What was
No,
the first?
orange is the third
Orange?
What was
Orange.
the first? Was the first one an apple?
Cherry.
Cherry.
Apple's like the 7th. The banana's after the apple. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cucumber's not in there. Neither is an eggplant because those are naughty.
No peaches either.
I think there are peaches,
Listen,
actually.
There better be some peaches.
I think peaches are actually after.
Well, peaches
Orange.
are also.
Peaches or
look,
I riot.
Peaches are also.
Look it up
naughty,
because
though.
now I want to know what the order of the Pac-Man. Anyway.
Yeah, I got it.
Anyway.
So those were our fun facts. Join us again next week or the week after.
Pac-Man fruit in order: cherry, strawberry, orange, apple, melon.
Which I guess is a different colored
'Cause
circle.
It's just like it's the green one. Yeah.
And then Galaxy and Starship, Bell and Key.
Oh yeah, because Miss Pac-Man's got the banana and the yeah, the other ones. All right.
And upon reaching Key, the fruit no longer changes for the remainder of the game.
I have questions about these kids' names, by the way. All right, brothers and sisters, gather around.
Did you see where they grew up? I have
Yeah,
no
I mean-
questions.
Do you know where they grew up?
A trailer park.
Okay. Do you know what town?
It doesn't matter.
I do.
I do too. But it's all,
Oh,
but it's in
okay.
the sermon.
Marty pants.
It's in the sermon. All right. Billie Jean and her brother Binks are two poor teens living in a trailer park. I'm gonna do this in that accent because that
Do it.
accent's
You
terrible.
almost have to.
Have to, right? Brothers and sisters gather round.
I'm here. Let's preach it.
Preach it. Billie Jean and her brother Binks are two poor teens living in a trailer park with their mama in Corpus Christi, Texas. I think my accent is actually better than any of the main actors in this movie.
Yeah, you need to dumb it down a little bit. I mean that in the best way possible.
One hot Texas day, the siblings ride out on Bink's scooter to a lake to cool off. On their way, they're encountered by bullies led by Hubie, who's real interested in Billie Jean, if you know what I mean. And so they harass her.
Real pretty.
She is real pretty.
She is.
And they harass Binks, and they harass her, and they end up stealing his bike.
They did throw a shake in his face.
Yeah.
They did, well, you know, I don't know.
It was deserved.
He deserved it.
I don't think it should have escalated to bike stealing, but that's just,
Yeah.
not here and there. That's where it escalated
That's
to.
neither here nor there.
It is escalated to bike stealing.
After we do some donuts.
After walking home, Billie Jean gets her friend Ophelia to drive her to the police station to file a report.
Speaking of bikes,
Yeah, there's a bike going by.
that's not what it sounded like, though. It wasn't that kind
No,
of bike.
it's more of a scooter bike.
And
Beep, beep.
and the always grounded putter also goes along for the ride because, well, that's what she does.
She all right?
She all right.
It don't matter. She grounded,
The police kind of dismiss her.
as they do.
She comes home to find that Binks has gone out to get the bike. He's beaten up all real poorly like, and the bike has been returned, destroyed. So Billie Jean goes to confront Hubie and his father to give her the money to repair the bike. Pyatt, Hubie's daddy, offers her the money if she'll just come visit from time to time for a little sexual favors.
Lessons.
Lessons. Just lessons. We'll do this on a layaway plan.
Mm-hmm.
She, of course, refuses and tries to escape when she goes down to the Pyatt shop to find Binks has found Pyatt's gun, and he accidentally shoots Pyatt in the shoulder. The kids escape.
Well, thankfully there were no bullets in that gun.
Yeah, there were no bullets in that gun.
Billy Binks packed to go on the run. Ophelia tags on just to get them far enough to go get somewhere safe. And Putter runs away from home because she's grounded all the time anyway.
But she remembered her marbles.
She remembered them marbles. They arrange a meeting with the police. Billie Jean will turn herself in at the mall only if Pyatt will give her the money to repair the bike. It's all arranged. She comes out, but Pyatt and his son screw things up. I have lots of questions about that scene. And the group goes on the run. Now fugitives, their legend grows as other crimes being committed, are either real or imaginary, get attributed to the Billie Jean gang.
Well, they did rob that liquor store.
They did. They break into a house to get food and shelter for the night and end up meeting Lloyd, a weird nerd kid who happens to be the son of the district attorney. Billie Jean watches the movie, a movie of Joan of Arc, and gets inspired. She gets Lloyd to help them make a video on her, telling her side of the story, and then cuts her hair short, all Joan of Arc-like. As they part ways, Lloyd offers himself as a hostage to get the money back they deserve. After all, fair is fair.
Fair's fair.
As media coverage increases, Billie Jean becomes a teen icon. And young fans follow her every movement. Facing uncertain dangers, both physical and legal, Billie Jean is forced to turn in her friends Putter and Ophelia to the cops for their safety. Pyatt issues a bounty for the apprehension, but the cops counters with a more peaceful offer and promise to repair Bink's scooter. Billie Jean realizes that the best plan is to turn herself in again. During a rally being held where a brand new scooter is being offered for Billie Jean and Binks, Binks puts on a dress and pretends to be Billie Jean, escorting Lloyd, their hostage. However, Hubie starts yelling that this isn't Billie Jean, and the police shoot Binks because it's cops in Texas, and that's what they do.
Boys don't wear dresses in Texas. We gotta take care of that.
Billie Jean runs to catch the ambulance taking Binks away, but doesn't make it. She suddenly sees a booth where Billie Jean merchandise, run by Mr. Pyatt, is being sold. Billie Jean confronts him about it and gets him to admit his actions that led to being shot. He gives Billie Jean the money, but she refuses to take it and rams her knee into his crotch.
She's good at that.
She is really good at that.
Yeah.
Sending him sprawling to the ground and knocking over a nearby torch, which sets fire to the booth. The onlookers, including Hubie, seeing how Billie Jean was exploited and their indirect involvement through it all, Billie Jean, all the merchandise is rapidly grown up into the fire, and she leaves in disgust. As the merchandise stand burns down, Billie Jean departs as well, but not before giving Lloyd a kiss, thanking the cop, Ringwald. Later, we find Billie Jean and Binks, who's got an arm and a sling, are hitchhiking in Vermont. Bink, after complaining about the cold, admires a red snowmobile.
They made it to Vermont.
Yeah.
He didn't know it was going to be that cold.
Yep.
It was
You're
awful.
either hot or you're cold. Figure out.
Yes, sir, you know.
Son.
Oh, there's a lot to unpack for this movie.
Yeah, like, everybody in this film is dumb. Like, I feel like I am Detective Benoit in Glass Onion going, this is dumb, and them going, it's so dumb, it's brilliant. No, it's just dumb.
I don't know how I feel about it. I genuinely don't. Like, it's okay.
Like, it's a fun movie, but everybody's just so dumb.
I think they missed the point on parts of it, though. Like, they tried to elaborate, like, a side story, and then they never took it further. Like, with her coming out to do the speech, like, she has a whole look. You never see that again. Like, she puts it on for the camera, and then she never wears it again. Like, you don't see her jumpsuit, or her, like, band or anything. Like, she just goes back to wearing her normal clothes, and now her hair's short. That bothers me. It's like, it almost feels like every time where the kid's like, are you Billie Jean? We need help. Like, she should have put that back on.
So, I loved this movie as a kid. I watched it.
Did you cut your hair?
No, I didn't. But I loved this movie as a kid, and now as an adult, I have lots of issues with it.
All right, what are your issues?
From a technical storytelling point, I think they lose the narrative really early.
Yeah.
And by losing it, I think the pitch was, what if a girl was Robin Hood and something happened to her and she does good deeds while she's on the run? That's the Robin Hood story.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh yeah, and Joan of Arc, which is a different kind of story.
Right.
And so they try to match those together, and I don't think it works.
She only did the one deed.
Yeah.
It's not like she did deeds. Like,
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
Right. She did the
She's
one.
mostly
like-
on the run.
Yeah, like, really, she's just on the run.
And I think, like,
and it's for a dumb reason too. Like,
okay, so
because the initial going to Ringwald, that she could not have reported that correctly for him to just brush it aside the way he did. He's like, "Oh yeah, just a stolen vehicle. We'll look into that in a couple days." No. My brother also got assaulted. That's the part that should also be in the report. That should have got his attention.
Bullying in 85 is not bullying in 23, Caleb.
No, but I mean...
In 85,
but it's
that
still
was your
assault.
life. No, that was life. Things have changed since then.
I mean, they both were kind of assaulted before he was, like, because she's at the police station when he comes out and he's all beat up.
Yep.
So she doesn't know how bad she didn't know he went out.
That's when you take him back because he got beat up.
So... I also like how he dismisses her, and I guess this happens to women all the time, especially in the 80s, was like, well, honey.
He just likes you.
He just likes you.
And she's pretty.
And
you're a child.
And so he's going to bring this bike back. It's all going to be fine.
It's very much a boys will be boys situation.
Right. We have cop things to do, and so we don't need your pretty little self coming up and distracting us. So go home, run along.
Take your shoes off.
Go home. And so I was like, ooh, that's not great. that didn't age well at all.
That didn't age well. But he does support her throughout the whole movie.
No,
I
yeah,
do appreciate that he's like, hey, you want to talk about some bikes instead? Like,
yeah,
right.
once he realized things
understands.
escalated.
Right, and he realizes early, like, oh, I think I screwed this one up. I think he's trying to save his job.
Yeah.
So.
And so, like, he's doing that, and then, like, I would really investigate Mr. Pyatt more than he probably did too, because like he did not. There's no way they pushed any information out of him.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Because they probably just got the basic report of, oh, I was shot, and that's it. That's all you need to know.
It wasn't my gun. I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, by my own gun. You know.
It didn't have bullets in it.
Like, I feel like there should have been more to that. And I love how, like, every description I've read of this film is, like, at the end going, oh, yeah, he admits to it. No, he really doesn't, though.
No, he doesn't. He kind of talks to her about it and kind of, he comes clean, like, her face-to-face, but it's not really, like, close enough for anyone to hear.
Like,
and weirdly, the crowd follows her to this.
Like, the closest that they get to him admitting it is him going, you went up there and you knew what was going to happen.
You knew what was going to happen.
And that's not really admitting it. That's him...
That's what we call an 80s admitting it.
Yeah. It's
like that was his acceptance. You went up the stairs. That means you were into it. It's fine.
I have questions, but one of the things I like, and I think we could do a whole hour on Putter, so I'm going to set that aside. Putter's the best thing in the movie. Yeah, like Putter's the best thing in the movie.
Putter needs their own movie.
And so, two things. First is I like. This is a fun example of how things go viral before things went viral.
Mm.
I love how they used the radio station because this whole legend is basically the radio station and a couple of newspapers.
Yeah, because it's
that goes all over Texas.
Well, because the radio is important in this film because you have the music,
right,
which is really important to this film.
Right, and the soundtrack's pretty banger.
And I think music and radio were supposed to be key. Like,
well, I mean, especially at the time, because that's like there's no internet. You've got 3 channels, and you have to go to places to do stuff. And so most people with car, you had the radios in your cars, and you listen to what local GAs played, and so you just that was, especially at that age, that was life. Yeah. I mean, down here for us, it was WABB in that time. We listened to
ABD.
Well, it's ABD now, but back then it was WABB.
That's right.
And so, like, our friend Pablo, who's been on the show, he used to be a DJ for them. I used to listen to Pablo as a kid. And so,
it's interesting to watch, like, children get
Uncle Henry did WABB. He was a morning DJ guy.
Check on their status instead of, like, checking social media. They're like, did you get a newspaper? Like, we're the top page of the newspaper, the front page or whatever.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So here's my question, which I'm not understanding. So this movie can pretty much sum up at the beginning of the second act. They could fix everything in the second act. I know they got to have a movie, so I understand the real reason. But
are you gonna bring up what I think you are?
So they go to the mall and they're gonna like all she wants is what's fair, right? Fair is fair. She just wants the money to repair Bink's bike, and she'll turn herself in, and she'll take the fall for this if she'll get the money. And so the cop's like, okay, come in, we'll get the money, and we'll make him pay for it. But when this all happens, Hubie comes and jumps it out and is like kind of a, oh, go, gotcha. And then there's a chase to the mall. And I'm like, what's the plan? Are you just, Hubie's going to assault her and everything's going to be fine?
Grab her and hold her down so the police can take her in and nobody gets the money.
Right.
Like, are y'all just going to prove her right by attacking her in front of everybody?
I was like, I kept going, what's the game plan here, guys? I don't.
And even the cop is like, you idiot. And it's just like, once again, proving my point of this is just dumb. Why? Like, honestly, I'm surprised the cop didn't deal with Hubie and Mr. Pyatt in that moment.
Right.
Like, he should have just arrested them, too, for getting in the way.
So I'm just like, I was watching going, what's the gameplay here, guys? I don't see what you're doing here. And so that was a mess. But that leads to them going real on the run.
Yeah.
Then they had to.
And then
Because Binks has he stole a fake a toy gun.
We held a gun.
And then we get Lloyd.
Yeah, but
because apparently back in '85 they didn't put little orange.
No, they didn't. No. In fact, I was at a toy show yesterday, and I saw pre-orange tip vintage toy guns.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I thought I should have bought it. I should have brought it in so we could show it.
How was it financially?
It's like $40. And so I just don't have a market for it. Like, I'd be uncomfortable selling it anyway. But like, there's a whole line of water guns. I'm trying to remember the name. It's something Intech or something like that. But there's a line of water guns. They were all kinds of military grade. So Uzis and MP5s and Berettas and Glock. I don't think Glocks, but they were all like high, like motorized water guns that look like real pistols. Before they were, that's what got them. They got a lot of trouble for that because people would use them to rob banks or with the gas stations and stuff. They would go rob stuff with the water guns, and then a couple kids got shot holding fake guns over the years. So that's why they put orange tips on everything.
Well, unfortunately, that doesn't always work, and even now,
right? And for a long time, I think the holdout was like Western style guns with the cap guns.
Yep.
I think now they finally changed it because they're you can buy toy guns now, but they're all like in like neon colors and
they're obvious that they're not.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, most of the time they're all just so that way they don't have to do the orange tip. They just color them completely.
And then Nerf just went crazy.
Yeah, Nerf is just. Although Nerf guns can still pack a punch if you.
Right, but the design of a Nerf gun.
Has somebody ever actually tried to rob something with like a legit Nerf gun?
I would imagine.
Not hidden, but like you can tell it's a Nerf gun.
I would imagine because I've seen some people on the internet where they can.
You just in the sentence there. I've seen some people on the internet.
No, I've seen them because you can modify a Nerf gun, and I've seen people modify it to where like the shotgun ones shoot just as hard as an actual like.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
Be like, do you have a Nerf gun? I'm sorry, we can't take you serious. Then you get shot with one, and you're like, oh my god, give them everything.
Yeah.
But because of this legend of her grows on the radio and stuff, they're incredibly lucky. Like the house they break into is they find another teenager who's like really into this whole thing.
Yep.
And just lets them break in and steal stuff, and then goes, "I'm going to join you."
Yeah, happens to be the district attorney's son.
Right.
Of course.
Played.
But they're on the run, so they're like, let's go to the fanciest neighborhood we can find.
Yeah.
Just find one of those houses.
And then
they wet banded it. They're like, some rich folk are got to be on vacation, right?
Lloyd is the only person who's actually has smart ideas throughout this film.
But he's still dumb, especially because
he's still dumb. He's still dumb.
He has a different education, Caleb.
So like
he's got the big house education, not the trailer park.
So the smartest thing he does is say, "Hey, you need to spread your side of the story." That's the smartest thing he says, and that's it. That's the only smart thing that's done.
I don't think so. I think the hostage idea, like to give leverage.
It backfires pretty hard.
But like she didn't have leverage beforehand. He does have probably the best ideas of everything they do. That doesn't mean that any of them were good.
I think the video one was good. I think them making a video that's the only good idea.
So when they're on the run after that, and probably puts the bounty on it. Is no one surprised that Texas is just like, oh, there's Billie Jean. Let me get my rifle, my long gun. I'm going to shoot at her tires.
I like how they'll woman in that car was like, "Don't shoot her."
I was gonna look her up because
Why
she
are
looked
you
familiar.
shooting her?
She reminded me of Jan Hooks, but she wasn't. And I've seen her in other things. I think, honestly, I think she may be in something else we've seen recently. I'll find out. I'm looking right now.
Oh, I was working on it.
Are you going on it?
Yep.
Who's gonna find it first?
Oh, that's a race. It's a race.
Hey, Caleb.
Yeah.
No, I didn't distract you at all. Forget it.
Caroline Williams.
Yep.
Oh.
Caroline Williams. Why do I know?
I was
Quick
looking
twist.
at it.
Oh, Caroline Williams. She's in Texas Chainsaw Massacre too. That's why I know her.
I was looking at it. I was trying to figure out if woman in pickup is the name for that character.
Yeah, the woman. She's the only woman in pickup
Yeah.
for a movie about Texas.
I was like,
What
that's
surprises
surprising.
me?
Yeah.
Apparently
Caroline,
she's in the new Renfield movie coming out.
Yeah, she's a great actress. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is very gross, but hilarious.
Also in Days of Thunder, good film.
It's a good film.
I enjoyed all the kids that helped though.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, everybody that banded together to help her. It's like even the kids in the grocery or the gas station or whatever they were shopping.
I just like, just put all this money on my dad's tab. Bye.
Yeah. I think
Different times.
I think on top of this
Different
being
times.
a story about like radio and stuff and the power of that, I think it's also a story of like just teenagers getting tired of the way things are because it's the 80s and that's kind of a message around that time.
So, you're a child in '85, old enough to be a child. So whatever that age is for.
Yeah,
you.
whatever that. Yeah.
Whatever that, and this goes on. Are you supportive? Are you going to go help Billie Jean? Are you going to cut your hair?
I won't cut my hair now. Would I if I saw her? Would I help her? Yes. I wouldn't cut my hair.
I don't think knowing me in '85, I'd have been like, that's cool. I'm going to play Legos.
Well, see, my thing is,
I think it
who
depends
I
also
am.
what age.
Right.
Like I think teenager like
It's also me at teenagers. I'd probably be like, that's cool. I'm also going to go play with Legos.
But see, my thing is, I would have like helped a non-Billie Jean Billie Jean.
Right.
Like I'd been like, I'd help her, and then I would see somebody that looked like Billie Jean and be like, "Do you need help?" And they'd be like, "Yeah," and it wouldn't be Billie Jean.
Right.
That would be me.
I do like how she kind of skirts herself across the city though, and she they pick her up and drop her off, and she ends up on a
Yeah.
bike.
Yeah.
There's elements of this movie that I think are great.
Yeah, there's some
like the
really good
on-the-run stuff to me is
ideas.
fun.
Like there's a really good idea here. It's just not implemented in the best of ways.
But what's interesting about that situation is that she got on so many different, like she took so many different cars and vehicles that I thought she traveled across the state.
Right.
Right? Because it makes it gives you the perception of like a distance has been traveled.
Right.
Multiple vehicles, and then she shows up where her brother is, who was on foot. So did they literally take her in a circle?
I think so. I think it.
Because it's a good way to lose somebody is to
Right.
do that
If
way.
you think if you're expecting a person to leave town, and then they get reports that they left town, but they just kind of snuck their way back in, that's a good way to
Yeah.
follow it. Now, is that how we're seeing it, or is how that the filmmakers wanted like, oh yeah, she left.
yeah,
And then she shows
Back,
up, and
yeah,
you're
so-
like, wow, you took a lot of time traveling
yeah,
to end up at the same place there, Billie Jean. Gas is not cheap
yeah.
now. Maybe in the '85.
Well,
it
we
was
see
cheaper.
it's $1.05, I think.
No, it was $1.01, and I was like, oh.
Oh, I thought I saw a
Eat
5.
bag.
I thought I saw a 5 somewhere.
That was probably a different gas
Yeah,
station.
the first gas station when Ophelia after they shoot him, and Ophelia pulls into the gas station to get gas because she can't have her dad checks the gauge.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Her dad checks the gauge,
Every time I take it out.
and the gas was 101, and I was like, man, I miss those days.
It's kind of upsetting that this is the last major role for Helen Slater because she's good in this. Supergirl, not so much, but this, I think she did a good job.
What else was she in?
Those are the last of like Supergirl, and this is her major roles, and then she's done side stuff since.
Yeah, she was the teenage heartthrob for a couple of movies, and just didn't really pan out for her. She's done a lot of stuff. She's in a lot of movies. She just went from like starring and anything to supporting and lots of TV and stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But she's kind of a name, and she's like a nostalgia name too. She'll get nostalgia name jobs.
Yeah, like she's appeared in DC related stuff as like throwbacks to it. Like
Right.
Like she's been in Smallville because of her being in Supergirl.
and
and stuff like that.
Interesting.
All right, so let's talk about Putter and why this movie should have all been about Putter. Putter's amazing.
First of all, I don't even know where to begin.
Should have used the marbles.
best.
Should have used the marbles.
Like
Marbles
they
need-
use the marble, but it's just like she's packing.
Yeah.
She packs the most.
Yeah.
For starters.
That duffel bag is the
And
size of
that's
her.
The coolest bag.
Yeah.
And then she throws it in the back, right?
Yep.
And she packs marbles.
Hold on, I'm coming.
But like when she's pouring, my first thought when she started doing that was she either has spiders or a lizard in that container.
Right.
Because she has a container
Yeah.
that housed something at some point.
They were her pet marbles.
So I kept waiting for that to come up, where like a bug's just crawling around in the car. But it would have got squished by all those marbles when she threw that bag in the car, just to be quite honest. But she's just the best.
Yeah.
I think she
Ophelia's
is like
the worst to me.
best, like pivotal point of the
Yeah.
story. Like she gives all those comedic breaks
yeah.
in the best times too. Or it's
Well-
like, oh, you've been shot. It's like, no, I haven't.
Well, I think she
Aw.
also has a good moment when she stands up to her mom with the.
I like the end of that when she's like, when can I get a diaphragm? I about died. Mainly because the way she said the word diaphragm. It is the worst Texas. Like all of them are terrible Texas accents. All of them. But man, that one just come out. Right? It's just
She was the best though. She was the best with short hair and long hair. I didn't like Billie Jean when she cut her hair.
See, I did. I like
I
the.
did.
Yeah, I did too.
Like there's parts of the movie like I buy the whole Joan of Arc bit. Which to me also seems like it's shoehorned in. Like it doesn't seem like it's in the. It may be in the original script, but the way it's shot just seems like, oh, by the way, this is on the movie. Oh, it'd be great if we did this thing.
Yeah.
But in the moment, because she's watching it and then she ends up just. I love the haircut thing. It's
I don't
dramatic.
like the outfit though. Like it really bothers me that she suddenly has a well-fitted
Wetsuit.
wetsuit that she
Just
like,
a top.
Yeah.
almost like a costume, like she's like for when she's a vigilante, right? She
Yeah.
wears that. So, but then you never see it again, ever, never, ever. It's not even under her clothes.
It's
she-
on
she
the
can
poster
wear.
though. It is iconic.
Yeah.
But it's like it never comes up again. Why?
Yeah.
What was the point of that? And
So-
he just had it in a woman's size.
You know.
Ready
Or did she
made?
have it? Because she
Yeah.
may have got it at the Goodwill.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, I lied. Ophelia's not the worst. The worst is actually Binks, and I'm a Christian Slater lover, but Binks is the worst. He starts off reasonable. Like I'd say the milkshake thing. Okay, that's a reasonable.
Well,
like
he's a kid.
yeah,
so.
that's a reasonable thing. But like then the whole as it goes on, like okay, shooting the gun by accident. Okay, because you were told there was nothing in it. So you, being a dumb kid, you went. But then he gets the toy gun, and that's when the real stupidity kicks in, aiming it at Lieutenant Ringwald and.
How old do you think he is, though?
Oh no, hold on. We're gonna play that game.
Okay,
That's
so-
a game.
Okay, so I'll let that go for now.
Yeah.
But
He's
imagine yourself in that position.
He's
I
a-
feel like you would also be like, I need a gun.
I'd say he's a bit older than you're probably thinking.
No, I'm saying like the character, not
yeah.
the actor.
No, the character.
But if you're being
yeah,
the
character.
character and you're on the run, like you need some sort of a weapon. Like I can see that for a boy to be like, I need a gun. Women are smarter.
Amen. Except in this movie.
Yeah.
We just cut off.
Everybody's
our hair,
dumb in this movie. That.
and then people have to respect us because we look more like a man.
All right, so
So I would. Are we gonna play that game of a? Right
well,
now?
we'll play it when we get to it.
Okay.
But also this movie made me uncomfortable at the beginning when the siblings are at the lake.
Yes.
I
Yes.
didn't know if they were brother and sister at first. I kind of thought that was her boyfriend.
Well, it's not even just the lake part. It's when she gets on the bike. She wraps her legs around
No, she
him.
doesn't want to fall off.
I forgive the bike. but
The way she's riding
they are
that.
They're just very, very close.
they're very, very close.
Okay, they're just super close. Okay.
And
I mean, it is.
I mean, look, it's a trailer park.
Yeah.
Ain't a lot of other, the other boys are mean.
Yeah.
Well, first she strips off her shirt. Like, we skipped that part, and he rides up, and she's just taking her shirt off. So I just that to me, like, proved that they were boyfriend girlfriend, right? Because he's like, getting my girlfriend, we're gonna go hang out, we're gonna go get a shake, and then it comes up that they're brother sister. I was like, okay, y'all are real close.
What makes the creation of this film even weirder is that both of the leads have Slater as their last name, but they're not related.
That's hilarious.
Yes, they're not related.
I kind of assumed they were.
Nope, they're not related.
They kind of look like it.
They do.
They do, yeah.
It's something that for years, like that. This mainly because this movie, but
this movie made it worse.
But they always, when it gets mentioned, they're not related. He has to say a lot. He's not related to her. But
yeah, that was uncomfortable.
I like this film as a cult film. I'm glad I watched it again. It'll be a while before I see it again. I show it to friends because it's so weird and just I like it, especially for this show, because it's like, I mean, we haven't done like real true cult movies in a minute.
Yeah,
and this is like a real cult film. This has HBO and VHS made this movie what it is, and it's and then there was a rights issue I mentioned in the last episode that happened. So the theme of the song, the theme song of the movie is Pat Benatar's "Invincible," which is a banging song.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's a good song. She hates this movie.
Yep.
Hates this movie.
Like,
did she give approval for her song to be used?
Yeah.
And then she does concerts, and when she plays this song, before she plays it, she says it's from the worst movie ever, and then plays it.
Which I disagree. We have seen worse movies on this podcast, but so she held up the rights because she didn't want the song in the movie. So and you can't take "Invincible" out of the Legend of Billie. That's the song. It's Billie Jean's song. You can't, you can't take it. That's like her theme. You can't take it out. It's also embedded in the score, so you can't take it out. You can't. So
she gave permission for it, and then the movie came out. She was like, "Oh no, you done fucked up.
Right.
No rights for you."
Right. And so when they went for home video, he made it to VHS, but when it went to DVD and Blu-ray, she held it up for like 5 years.
Damn.
So that
Good
was
to
that.
know.
Fair
Fun
is
fact.
fair.
Mm-hmm.
Got a libation for us?
I do. I don't know what part of the podcast we do, but I also have a screw, marry, kill.
Oh, we'll do that. We'll do that when we come to it. It's on my list.
So, headed to record this podcast, we discovered that we would be down our libations person.
Yeah, because the Lady of Libations she's also in a Mardi Gras society, so
she's probably drinking plenty of libations right now.
And she's working.
I feel like that's what
she's loading a float right now. That's what
she's
doing.
loading her float and was like, I don't want to stop doing what I'm doing.
I'm with you. I don't think she's loading her float sober.
I think it's sober. So on the way, I was like, okay, I got this. I can do this.
Loading your float is also a euphemism for something, right?
Libations.
Hey, baby, gonna load your float.
Usually it's bushwhackers. So coming here, this is also tied to a fun story. So I'm going to share both with you, and then I'm going to pull out the libations. Coming here, we pass on this road. For those not familiar with Mobile, we're on Moffett. There's lots of things about Moffett that you could probably look up on the internet if you delve just a little bit. I don't think you have to go very far for it.
Also known as Bloody 98.
It's a rough road with not a lot of not rough things. So initially the thought was, we'll go to the liquor store, because there is one, if from the way that we come, if we go the opposite direction on Moffett, like not even a mile down the road. So we head that way, and it's a package store with no signs attached to a gas station with one set of pumps that's not used.
This all sounds shady.
Yeah. So we were like,
that's our
not
spot.
going there. Because we're two women that don't live in this area. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we keep going. And then we go to turn around to
He's
come
gonna
back
be like,
the other way.
You can come pay for that,
Yeah, like, we can do some
lessons. Get some lessons.
No, thank you. So then we go to turn around because there's another one just less than half a mile down the road on the other side. And so we turn around in that parking lot, and that one is, dare I say, worse. But had a sign, and they're both rated 4 and above in their Google ratings. So somebody thinks they did real well. We don't know. So at this point, we're like, all right, so we're going to head back towards the podcast, and we'll go to Piggly Wiggly. We understand that it's rough because I have had a pee emergency before where I had to stop at the said Piggly Wiggly and pee. It's been about a year now. It's been a little bit. and they took me behind, like, inside their warehouse part of Piggly Wiggly to get to the bathroom. You have to go through, like, the butcher doors, and then go around. It was if I wasn't about to literally pee my pants, I would, like, that's one of the times I hovered. So no one heard, "Oh, that was cold on my booty." Because my booty touched nothing.
For last episode.
And then almost got stuck in that bathroom. The door wouldn't open at first. Like, it was terrifying.
I live in the Piggly Wiggly now.
We were like, we're just gonna do it. So the libation today, I'm gonna grab it. It's in the fridge. Is beer, because if you're thinking about this movie, it's like, well, it's gonna be beer. Like, it was either going to be something we could find in the liquor store or beer. So it's beer. So I have Miller Lights that I'm going to pass out.
Yeah, that fits.
Yeah.
It was going to be PBR, but they didn't have any that wasn't a 12-pack. And I'm not buying 12 PBRs.
Yeah.
So it's Miller Lite. So we get it. Took a minute to check out because it's Piggly Wiggly. Took a minute. Get over here. Oh, I forgot to mention there's a church next to it. And they're having a sermon or something outside. And it's this loud rap music that's playing to the point where I was like, those are my people. Like, if I was going to go to a church, like, they had a food truck and fold out tables in the parking lot of this church attached to the Piggly Wiggly off Moffett Road with loud rap music. Okay, so that happened. So we get in the car, we're driving back, we're pulling in. There is a new Piggly Wiggly attached to the shopping center where G&G is.
That's been here for like 4 months.
Yeah.
It has, but we took like a 6-month break. So, in fairness, like, we pulled in, I was like, there's a Piggly Wiggly right there that looks new and shiny. That's my story. So I'm going to grab the Miller Lights.
I have not been to the new Piggly Wiggly.
I haven't either, clearly.
So what's funny is you think Miller Lights, I think Texas Moonshine.
Well, I was going to get something from the liquor store.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed that.
No, I heard that part.
So, I don't know if you guys drink beer. Okay. So I was like, I did not bring enough for everybody, but I have some. I can pour it into a glass if you would like. Okay? But I'm not going to pour it into a glass. That was part of what we were going to get. And I am actually going to drink one. And just hurt myself. Do you want to share with me? Do you want me to pour it into a glass? That's not all. That's not all.
That's not
There's
I
more.
have other things too.
Oh.
So if I'm gonna libate you, we're also going to have Kit Kats.
No.
Because Putter recommends
Kit Kats.
Kit
Putter
Kats.
director. Thank you for
Putter,
the Kit Kat.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Putter.
I don't feel so good. I wonder why. Maybe you had 20 Kit Kats.
Though there are 4 of us when Steph's with us, I do want to suggest that we one day do a Legend of Billie Jean cosplay at some event.
I'm just gonna show up dressed like Putter.
I figured you'd get
I'll do the werewolf mask version of Floyd.
I figure I'll be Ophelia. I'm driving that car.
You gonna be swerving that car?
I
Like
could
she
I could dye my hair blonde again and be Billie Jean.
does? Yeah,
Fair is fair.
fair is fair. Yeah, you're the leader of this gang, so you gotta be Billie Jean.
We just want what's fair. We just want to fix Binks's bike.
No, I do not have a Kit Kat because technically I don't do gluten for stomach issues.
Is there gluten in this
And
thing?
yes.
There's gluten in everything.
There's wheat in
Yeah.
that.
Feels
And
like it.
anxiety issues. But I will drink this little bit of beer, and I will have peanut butter M&Ms
Hey.
because it's also in a red package. I didn't see any Tootsie Rolls while I was there, so it was like the other thing she had a lot
I
of.
mean, can't go wrong with peanut butter.
So here's our libations. Welcome to Texas.
Yeehaw. Hey, I did find some apocrypha for this movie.
Let's do it.
2 things. 1, can you name the original title of this movie?
Invincible.
I can, but it's not fair because I know because of Wikipedia.
Is it 1 word, 2, 3?
It's 3.
It's
Okay.
3, and it's you
Well,
should know it.
We've said it a lot today.
Shit.
No, that's
on. Fair is fair.
fair is fair.
There
Yep.
you go.
A dance rave sequence was filmed, but it was cut from the final version of the movie. I looked for it, could not find it.
When would it have been?
Probably when she went to go do the big speech at and when all the kids are gathered. I think that's
I
where
can see the beach party having
But I think that she's supposed to. I think the rave happens at the warehouse.
Oh, okay.
So, all right. So the Grapevine. Christian Slater stated in interviews that while filming this movie, he thought he was fated to marry Helen Slater because their last names were the same.
Well, he should thank her for that then. I think she did a better job.
Yeardley Smith refused to cut her hair for her part, so when Putter cuts her hair, she is wearing a wig. When Putter first appears with her haircut, the upturned collar on her jacket is to hide her real ponytail tucked back there.
I'll say they did a good job of covering it. I didn't notice it on that first watch, but I'll look for it next time.
The closed miniature golf course had been a real golf place, part of an amusement park on North Beach that closed around 1970. It's now the location of the Texas State Aquarium. The amusement park was also a filming location for Route 66, which was an old TV show. And lastly, because of course there's not a lot of trivia for this movie because there's not a lot. It's because it's what kind of movie. Helen Slater's haircut was her hair was cut by a born again Christian hairdresser who said a prayer prior to cutting Slater's hair.
What was the prayer for?
Cutting probably.
Yeah.
And then we already mentioned that Pat Benatar hates this movie. All right, so I have two for bar trivia. I have two questions. One of them is part of Kisa's game, a new segment that she helped us out, so I named it after her. So
Kisa's game.
So we'll start with the first question before we get to her game.
Okay.
How much was the cost to repair the scooter?
$608.
Yeah. Yep.
Bonus. How much is that in today's money? I looked it up for 2023.
Hang on.
We'll do Price is Right rules. So whoever's closest without going over.
Hold on, don't tell me. I'm still thinking.
I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, we're both going to guess.
Your face is going to guess. Yeah, you heard me.
I'll go first because usually you go first.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Caleb.
Yeah.
You go first.
Because it's not fair if I
No,
go
that's
second every
fine.
time.
And
Go
we're
ahead.
all about fair is
Go
fair
ahead.
on this
Yeah,
episode
fair
of
is
the
fair.
podcast.
Fair is fair. Youngest first, Caleb? Oldest first? Nobody knows.
819.
So $819.
Yep.
I'm going to say 1,800.
$1,800. You went over.
Shit.
The actual number is $1,708.06.
So I did times 3 because the gas is 3 times more
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You're close though. That's a really good guess. Really close. All right, here's Kisa's game.
All right, Kisa.
The 4 members of Billie Jean's gang. We're not counting Lloyd. We're just counting the 4 main members.
Yeah.
How old were each member during the filming of this movie?
So the actual actor.
The actual actor.
Yeah.
So how old was Helen? We'll go in order. How old was Helen Slater?
She had
15.
No, she's older than that because she had just finished playing Supergirl.
Oh, damn it. I don't know her history.
And so she has to be...
Supergirl's after this, right?
Yeah. No. It's before this. She did Supergirl first.
It's Supergirl's 84.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
She just looks like the kind that's so pretty you think she's older,
So
but she's actually younger.
I'm going to guess at least 19?
19.
I'm going to stick with my younger age. I might go up a little bit, 17.
17. Helen Slater was 22 when she made this movie.
Wow.
We'll get
It's all
to
that lake water.
So we'll get to Binks.
Christian Slater.
Christian Slater was how old when he made this movie?
19.
19.
I bet he was a baby.
Yeah, he's the baby. So 18.
15.
Ah, damn.
Wow.
I should have stuck with my first one.
Martha Gavin, who played Ophelia, how old was she when she made this movie?
18.
17.
No. 20.
20.
17. I'll stick to...
17. 29.
Wow.
And then you go back and look at that movie after
I'm
I
sorry?
found 29. That face.
Did she have any children? Like, how old was she? Does she have children in general? Like, has she already had children by the time that this was done?
I don't know.
Caleb, can you please just look to see if that person's ever had kids, and if so, what age?
And then finally, Putter, Yeardley Smith. How old was Yeardley?
I want her to be so young that it's amazing, but I feel like she's probably 20.
20.
19.
21. She played 14 in this. That's how old
Yeah.
she was. So there you go. I thought it was fascinating because Billie Jean and Ophelia are supposed to be about the same age, and is it 17? I think that's how they're supposed to be, and then the other two are supposed to be 14, 15.
Well, she's 7 years older than her brother, but they look like they're about a year apart.
Yeah, they look really close in age.
Screw, Marry, Kill.
Okay. Screw, Marry, Kill. Okay.
Can't find any children from Martha Gemmon, the one who plays Ophelia, but
That explains it.
she is. She does have a nephew who is a football player.
Like famous?
Evan Britton. Don't know if he's famous, but they have a hyperlink on Wikipedia. So
American football or that
American football
or that
So
crazy other stuff
like NFL.
Jamie likes.
NFL.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you have either, and I'm just going to tell you who they are. You have to figure out the name because I don't remember.
Okay.
Sleazy Dude.
Hubie.
Pryett?
The
No, these are all going to be the adults.
Okay.
Even though the
Yeah,
children
yeah.
were adults,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
still
yeah.
weird.
Pryett.
Yeah, it'd be
Pryett.
weird.
Pryett.
So
Pryett?
Pyatt.
Pyatt, that dude
Yep.
with a mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Detective.
Ringwald.
Okay. Billie Jean's mom.
Oh.
Ooh.
So we got the mom, the detective, and Sleazeball.
I'll go ahead and go.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm killing Pyatt. He
Yeah,
has it coming.
I feel like we're all going to kill that dude.
Man went
Stephanie
after
would
a
sleep with
child. He has it coming. I'll marry Ringwald because I think he can take good care of me. He seems to have his head on his shoulders a little bit. Billie Jean's mom, though, yeah.
You gonna screw her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Use protection.
I'm killing Pyatt because he's the bad guy. And he's terrible. He's not redeemable.
No.
I am going to rock Peter Coyote's world. So Ringwald and I are going to have a wonderful night together, and then I'm going to marry Billie Jean's mom because the kids have run away to Vermont, so it's just going to be me and her. It'd be great.
And
I'm
honestly, she needs somebody to look out for.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll take care of her.
But usually when we play this game, Scotty, you are much more of the I want a castle and to be cared for. So
Right.
I'm a little surprised you didn't marry Sleazeball because he obviously has money.
Right. I just don't think either one of them has like castle money.
Of the people in this movie, he has more castle money than the woman you're marrying.
He's got a paper mache Billie Jean money. I don't know if I really want that.
And I
in my
don't think
life.
and honestly, that business is dying now. So.
Right, because it's on fire.
That's fair. That's fair. But Scotty very much is like, I'm gonna go with stability.
Yeah,
so
that's
who's
true.
got the money to
I
care
mean,
for
look,
me?
there's nothing wrong with stability.
I didn't say that. I was just a little
I'm
surprised.
just saying practical.
So for me, I'm also gonna kill that dude.
Hold on real quick. I also like Peter Coyote's voice, so I'm like,
Oh no, yeah.
he gets whisper sweet nothings in my ear.
You just want to be
But see,
Mr.
I
Fire.
get-
No, that was the sex one.
Right.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
see, I
Like
get
for
to,
one night, I'll be.
See,
Mrs.
I
Coyote.
get to have the whispers every night.
I mean, maybe
you can have it.
because I'm over here and I'm gonna kill Pyatt, but I'm also gonna marry the detective because I feel like that's a stable life.
Yeah.
That's a stable, good life, and he seems like a reasonable person. And
Yeah.
I want to be Mrs. Coyote.
Sure, he makes
Like,
mistakes, but he owns up
I'm
to
gonna
them.
change my name to Riley.
We
so
need
I'm
to do
gonna be
more Peter
Riley
Coyote movies, by the way.
Yes.
And then
I
I guess I'm gonna sleep with what's her face, but I'm gonna wrap myself in Saran wrap because she gets around.
Yeah, that date at the beginning of the movie did
Well,
not
her
look.
husband's died, and she just
Yeah.
needs to.
She
Ma-
needs some love.
Her
She's
daughter,
like-
her Billie Jean, did her mom dirty, going, "Yeah, he looks fine."
Let him see your eyes.
She just wants a daddy. She needs a new dad.
Maybe Lieutenant Ringwald can be her dad.
Hey, that wouldn't be too bad.
Oh. I could not find out how much this movie cost to make.
Yeah, I noticed
I
that
looked
too.
all over, and I would there's a little budget in this because Dean Stockwell and Peter Coyote were established actors.
There's
but
at least $608 worth.
Exactly. Domestic. The opening of this movie. Overall, this movie opened at $3 million. That's why not open, but made $3 million.
That's still impressive.
Its opening weekend was July 19th, 1985, and it opened at $1.4 million. The week it came out, it was not in the top 5.
Yeah.
Would you like to guess where it was?
9.
7.
12.
Ooh.
Wow.
I was gonna go 10.
But
I
it
should
made
have.
1 million.
Yeah, it did 1.4, but you'll see why.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we'll do. I guess we like doing from bottom to top, right?
Yes.
5 to 1.
Yep.
Okay.
5 is a western. That I think
Wild West.
it's an early.
No.
I think it's an early Costner film. It was written by Lawrence Kasdan, and it's got I'm trying to think who else is in it. It's okay. I watched it during the pandemic and was not impressed with it.
See, I'm having trouble thinking Western and Costner. I'm thinking Costner films, but I'm.
Any Western. What she said.
It was not Gunsmoke. Silverado.
Oh, yeah.
That's a truck, Scotty.
Hey, it is a truck and
Chevy made that.
a movie. Number 4 is I think Ron Howard directed this movie. Stars Steve Guttenberg about old people.
Is Ron Howard the comedian that smokes a cigar and drinks?
No.
That's Ron White, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a Ron, though.
You know what? I'm kind of impressed with that.
I like them, the 4 of them.
Do you remember the Andy Griffith Show? You ever watch it?
I have not.
Ever?
No.
Like it's on TV everywhere.
Okay.
Like throughout time.
Have you seen the
Delightful.
Have you
No.
seen the new Jurassic Park films?
Not the newest one, but I have seen the new one.
Okay,
yes.
so you know the park Chris Pratt's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Her dad is Ron Howard.
Yeah, her
Like
dad's
in real life
In
or
real life.
in
in
Jurassic
real life.
Park?
In real life.
Because I didn't see her dad in
No.
Jurassic
No.
Park.
Happy Days. He was in Happy Days too.
American Graffiti.
American Graffiti. I know she ain't seen
I know
American
she hasn't seen American Graffiti.
Come on, guys.
I
Try
know.
better.
Yes, I'm trying to find some. He directed Willow.
Okay, the original?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
He directed Willow. I was trying to figure out a movie that you might know that he directed.
Is this movie Willow?
No, it's not.
No.
Because did you say he directed this
I
movie?
think he. Yeah,
Grinch-
yeah. I think
Grinch he
yeah.
directed. That was he Grinch.
Yeah,
he
I
directed
forgot he
Grinch.
directed the Grinch.
Yep.
Yeah. His
There-
brother's
the-
in a lot of
He
stuff.
had to earn that too. That was hard to get from the Seuss estate.
This
but-
is a movie that I think I want to do on the podcast. I think it's great. It's about old people and aliens.
Old people and aliens?
Yes, old people and aliens.
Is it Mars Attack? No, that's a later. Isn't
That's
it?
that's a 90s.
Yeah, that's 90s.
What? Coco. Cuckoo on Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoon.
Cocoon. Butterflies.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of it.
Donna Michi won the Oscar for this film.
That was a Derby wife assist.
Thank you for
And
Derby.
I got it wrong 3 times. Still, it's fine.
It's still hilarious.
I'm gonna drink this gluten water.
And then it's the best name for beer. What's up? I'm drinking gluten water.
Gluten water.
I'm just
Gonna feel it later.
it's just liquid bread.
It's like the cheap, a fine Pilsner beer.
That's all the gluten.
Yeah.
Bring your Silverado on down
So
today
we're on to
and
3?
get you a
Number
fine
3 is
Pilsner
okay. So here's the hints. It is the 3rd movie of this series of 4.
Indiana Jones.
No.
Not Toy Story. That's 95.
She can be taught.
That one.
It's a Mel Gibson film.
Is it
Ooh.
Passion
Oh.
of Christ?
Lethal Weapon.
No.
Oh.
Oh, Gail's mom's all excited.
Hold
She's
on.
snapping.
Hold
She
on.
knows.
Mel Gibson, 3rd film in a series.
Is it Naughty?
Oh, Thunderdome.
Yes, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's on the list.
Yeah. Although the
You don't like Fury Road.
The one it's Mad Max.
Mad
Yeah,
Max,
No.
yeah. Thunderdome is.
No, I don't.
No.
No, so the
It's
first.
weird. I didn't
so-
like it.
Yeah, third.
So the first 3 are.
Stephanie liked it
So
too.
Thunderdome is Thunderdome and the second one, Road Warrior. Are
So the
closer
movie's
to-
called Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah.
And you would think like the Thunderdome was like a big part of this movie.
It's not.
And it's like
It's like the wetsuit.
right. It's like it's in the title. It's Beyond Thunderdome. He's like, no, we told you we're going beyond it, so we're gonna show it early and then go beyond it.
And you know what? I'm actually in the minority in that I think the first film is underrated, and I really like the setting of the first film, which is entirely different than the rest of the franchise.
Like Mad Max is fun. I like them
No,
all.
it's not.
Um,
I dislike it.
but I will agree with you. They're weird.
It's really weird.
Yeah, the first one
Weird.
is kind of weird, but then
The
second
fir-
one
but-
they
But
break it.
honestly, the first one's normal. It's like, all right,
So I might like the first one, is what you're saying.
you might.
but then after that, they've lost me.
Yeah, because it gets weird.
It's weird.
Well,
It's really weird.
Because the first one, they are still in a, like, it's still like a futuristic setting, but it's like a near future. But they don't have the gas crisis yet, but it's impending. Like, it's mentioned, but it's not, like, gone yet.
Okay, so this is all in the future. Out of curiosity, what do they consider the future, and or are we in it?
We're probably living it.
Yeah, we're probably living in it, to be honest. I mean, it was probably like 20 years set.
They're
Yeah,
like,
because the
There's
first...
there's
it's
no
so
year.
long from now. The year is 2020. And we're
Yeah.
like, shit, y'all did it.
Well, Escape New York does that because Escape New York came out in 1981, and the original script had the movie like set in 1990, and then they settled in 97 because 1990 was so quick, and so
I mean, a lot of those films, though, like in the 70s and 80s, were smart in that they just said the near future. They never said what year.
In the distant future,
Mm-hmm.
when life is different.
But so Tina Turner is in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
and there are
Oh, for number 2.
for three she's in Thunderdome.
Yeah,
she's
yeah. You're right. Yep.
she's the one of the villains in it, and then there's so they go beyond Thunderdome, which is a whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then they run into Ewok children, and it's
Yep.
weird,
Yeah, the kid. The
and I love
the
it.
wild
I love
kid.
it so much. It's weird, but I
just
love it.
can't. I just can't.
It is just
Shut it down.
It's on the list.
Which then, because Fury Road
I'm going to
came
be
out,
sick that day.
because Fury Road came out, there were so many theories that since it wasn't Mel Gibson anymore, that our Mad Max in that one is actually the wild kid from Thunderdome.
Number 2 is a re-release of a 1982 film, the biggest film of 1982.
Okay. It's a re-release?
It's
Is
a
it a Disney movie?
No, but I think
So
it's on
it's
Disney
not
Plus
Snow
now.
White.
Actually,
So it's a Star Wars movie.
it is not.
No.
So it's a Disney
Is
movie.
It is
Marvel?
Hold on,
Is
that's
it
not
Spider-Man?
No, I'll
no,
give
no.
you some more hints.
Okay.
It is
Guesser.
for the early '80s. It is one of the most iconic changes in pop culture.
That's not a hint.
I know, but I'm just telling you what it is. I'm
That's
just
not, you
Iconic
said you were going to
changes.
give
like
me a
like
hint.
it was like massive.
You've got mail.
That's a '90s movie.
Yeah, that's. You've got Mel is so massive. It did so much for the.
I also
Oh,
like
I thought it was like AOL,
I-
iconic.
this is my
You've
part.
got mail.
This is the part of the show where Justina just starts naming movies she thought she's heard of.
no, I've heard of that one. I
Yeah.
know that one. I haven't seen it, but I know that's one. Is it Spielberg?
Yes.
Indiana Jones?
No.
Jaws?
Mm-mm.
Close Encounters?
Nope. I would say this is his biggest hit, honestly.
If it's what I,
I
think.
don't know. I've said the
If
things
it's what
I've
I'm
said.
thinking it is, it's
What do you
not on
think it is?
Disney Plus, because it's owned by. It would be owned by Amblin still, right?
Is it one? It may be one of the early Ammo. I don't.
What type of movie is it genre-wise?
It is a fairy tale,
Motherfucker.
a modern fairy tale.
Oh, it's not what I was thinking then.
It's a modern fairy tale.
And it's the one he's known for the most?
One of the like it's up there.
When I think of Spielberg, I think of Jaws.
Yeah, that
And Indiana Jones.
right. Those two.
Yeah.
Those. This would
And
be the.
Close Encounters.
This would be. See, I think.
E.T.
Yes.
Oh, see, I was thinking ET, but you threw me off.
With the fairy tale, it is
Yeah.
a fairy. But what? And
And
18.
I've seen that movie.
So ET and Poltergeist are going both. But we're gonna do them back to back.
Poltergeist, I forgot
Okay.
We're
about
gonna
that
we're gonna do both of them back to back.
Okay.
Probably next
But
season.
you threw me off with the
Right.
fairy tale.
But it is a fairy tale. It is a modern fairy tale, and
Got it.
right.
I got it.
All right,
I
so-
got it. They eat pizza in that movie.
But yeah, it's not on Disney. It's not on Disney Plus.
What's it? It's on something. Maybe HBO. It's on something. I just watch it because I just saw it on
Yeah.
the list. And I was like, oh, we need to do. I literally saw it and was like, oh, we need to do both of those movies. Number 1 is a movie that we've done on this very podcast
Scotty.
at a live show last year.
I don't remember what we did.
No,
I don't
year before
remember
last,
what I
not
did
last year. Year before
week.
last year.
Well, that doesn't help. That was the year the world shut down. I don't remember.
Is it another film that has sci-fi stuff that you're gonna confuse me with?
It is a sci-fi film. It also has a Broadway adaptation coming to Broadway this season.
Cats.
It's Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Wasn't Cats.
No, it was not cats.
Well, they seem kind of sci-fi-ish. That's all I'm saying right now.
I mean, you no, they're cultish.
Sci-fi way.
So the top movies of
See those
19.
buttholes?
So the top movies of 1985.
Okay.
We have mentioned
E.T.
2 of them.
Yeah, E.T. and Back to the Future.
E.T. is not on the top 5 list.
That's
Really?
stupid.
Yes.
Back to the Future, though.
Back to the Future is number 1. It's the number 1 movie in 1985.
The ones we just mentioned.
But I want to ask, where did you think that The Legend of Billie Jean fell in the top
99.
200?
156.
169.
169 and what?
156.
145. Just stands closer.
Yeah.
We still both went over.
We
Yeah.
have done. This is our 5th 1985 movie. We've done Amadeus, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Return of the Living Dead, which we did last year. So we just played this game last season. Return to Oz. And then, of course,
I only vaguely remember those movies.
yeah, this is the fun part about the podcast.
Yeah.
That's actually one of my favorite things about the show.
I suck in so much in my everyday life that these movies go in and then they're like, and we're gone with the next
Y-
trip
I-
to the bathroom.
And you know what? Honestly, that's how it should be. But I'm broken, so I'm stuck with it. I'm the one with a mental illness.
That makes me feel a little better. Thank you for that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Thank you, Scotty.
You're welcome. All right, number 5 is a movie that was on the list. We just on the top 5 list for that week.
E.T. No, it's not on top 5.
so
Back to the Future.
No,
we
it's
already,
number
one
1
was Back to the Future.
85 is Back to the Future. It was
Oh.
huge that year. It was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Caleb, I literally just forgot every movie we went through. There was one, Silverado.
No.
No.
I remember that because it's a truck.
I forgot too, but that,
I like it.
Yes, it's not just me.
And he's a
I've been
producer.
down Silverado.
There's
I
two.
mean, I could cheat, but
There's 2 other movies we mentioned.
yeah.
No, I literally can't remember them.
Cocoon, number
Thank you.
Cocoon.
Is it?
Was
Wow.
that number 5?
Yeah, number 5 was Cocoon.
Okay.
Okay.
It was huge. Cocoon 2, The Return, not so much.
Was it a huge cocoon or the movie was huge?
Uh,
Was the cocoon the size of the duffel bag that Putter had?
the Cocoon I would think would be bigger.
You would think so.
Was it as big
But
as the car?
Have neither one of you seen? I know you have.
No.
You've not seen Cocoon either.
No.
Oh yeah, that's next. We'll do that. That's that coming. The Cocoons are big enough to hold people.
Yeah.
And I guess that duffel
That
bag
duffel bag
you
can
can hold a
Back
body.
there, yeah,
too.
that's
You could hold that 29-year-old child.
you could throwing it back. You could
Literally
have
a Caleb situation with an adult child.
throwing it back. You could have 2 heads in a duffel bag.
You could 8 heads at least.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4 is a boxing movie.
Number 4, Rocky.
Which one?
3, 2.
No, it's gonna be
6.
4.
It is 4.
I wanted to say 4, but it's number 4, and I
Right.
thought he was tricking me.
No, it's 4 because it's the big '80s Cold War movie.
Oh, I haven't seen Rocky, so I don't know.
That's
which
the one with with Drago.
The next one is Sylvester Stallone's other franchise.
Rambo.
Which one?
It would have.
Number 3. Stick with 3. Because number 3 should
I
be
want
3rd.
to say it's 5.
How many of these does he have?
Rambo's had a lot.
No, it's Rambo First Blood Part 2. It's the second one.
Oh, First Blood Part 2. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
They
they started.
they did 3.
Rambo started later. That's
Yeah,
right,
they've done. They did 3 in the '80s, and they've done 3 since the 2000s.
Yeah.
So,
because Rambo started later.
because
And-
they just come out with Last Blood, and then they're now a Last Blood Part 2 coming out.
Which the naming convention of Rambo is so.
And honestly, there's only one. First Blood's a really, really good movie.
Yeah, it's the only. It's really the only one that understands the point of Rambo.
Right, the rest of them just turn him in. Rambo. You've seen the image of Rambo, right?
Yeah, he's got the armbands. He's
Right.
like
Yeah, and
a
the
mixture
headband
between
and all that, yeah.
Billie Jean and
Yeah.
He-Man.
Kinda.
Yeah.
And so he's like a military war hero in every movie except the first one, where he's like a vet with traumatic PTSD.
Yeah.
Well,
Like.
then he turns it to his
Well,
advantage.
because the whole point, because it's based on a book, and the whole point is that it's
Which
supposed to be
is a
how
really-
we treat Vietnam vets after Vietnam.
It's a really good book too. Number 2 is also a sequel to a movie that we did trivia about.
Oh.
That we did trivia about here
today.
that I read out loud?
Yes.
Oh, that's not helpful to me. Is it Karate Kid?
No.
2?
Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Oh, yeah, beverage. Yeah.
Thank you for just giving us that.
Because I was just like, and that is the Legend of Billie Jean and all the other trivia.
Hey.
You know, a movie I haven't seen
Sure.
that I think
like
would make
any movie.
Shut your face. that I think would make sense on this podcast.
Sure.
Is a Chuck Norris movie something we should do? Because isn't he kind of an icon?
Sure.
Yeah.
Which one would you want? Have you seen? So you've not seen any Chuck Norris?
No. I just know that I know Chuck Norris is a meme.
Right.
I don't know Chuck
The
Norris
problem
as
is
an actor.
the
So-
problem is his biggest thing is a TV show.
No, but he's
I
got a
would
couple.
argue.
He's got a couple of movie franchises, so there would be.
Ooh, a good one. Top Dog.
No, we're not doing Top Dog.
Yeah, that's Colt.
Not doing Top Dog.
Top Dog is such a good cult film, though.
You know what?
Like,
You know what? You
going
can.
on for Top
Caleb,
Dog.
you have a podcast. You can do Top Dog on your show.
I don't have a movie. I don't
That
have a
was
movie
shade.
podcast.
So you just be
anymore.
like, "Hey guys, instead of Star Wars, we're going to talk about Chuck Norris's Top Dog." Make
We thought
Seth
this
watch
was
it.
gonna
That-
be Star Wars, but Chuck Norris did.
I mean,
no. That's your April Fool's episode.
but what? Okay, what movie would you?
All right, so there are a few. You can do the Terminator-esque silent running, which is basically him versus a Terminator. And then you've got the 3 mission and action films, which is like Rambo's making money. We can do that too. And so, and honestly, the second one's the best one because it's so the mission action movies is about a Vietnam vet who goes back to rescue his buddies who are still back in or POWs back,
Okay.
which is basically the plot of Rambo 2. The second movie is about their time as POWs in the camp, and that's
Okay.
fascinating. And
Which one of any of these turned him into a meme?
all of them,
So it's like
Yeah, I
a
would-
collective. There's not like
Yeah.
one
yeah,
that.
yeah, and
stands
I
out?
would say
because
I personally think really Walker Texas Ranger is where.
well, that helped.
I think it really picked up the meme culture, but
They don't have a movie.
no.
no. Although Eye for an Eye also fits within a lot of the culture
Right.
for him.
There's a
Because the thing is, he's known as being the white guy who also does martial arts, and also and then the memes come along.
There's one I saw in theaters in Atmore, I remember, and it's him versus like Chakotay from Star Trek Voyager, Robert Beltran, and
I'm on it.
Lone Star McQueen or something like that. I can't remember, but there's a bulldozer involved.
Oh, Lone Wolf McQuaid.
Yeah, Lone Wolf McQuaid. That's what. So.
Yeah.
And Silent Running is not the name of that movie. What's the name of that movie? It's
Which Lone Wolf McQueen has
No,
David Carradine.
The Terminator one's not Silent Running. Silent Running is the Bruce Stern movie, but it's Silent something. But it's a guy. It's like by Terminator. This guy can't be killed because of some medical. I've seen it
It's
years.
'cause he's
Silent
Chuck Norris.
Rage.
Silent Rage. That's what it is, and he can't be killed. And Chuck Norris has to go try to kill him, and so
I feel like that's a good Chuck Norris movie based on the memes.
yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
Does he kill him? Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
now I'll tell you.
Thank you.
God, I haven't seen that in years. Probably.
When you were talking
We're
about
just
Rambo,
building
I
up
thought
next
of
season's movies.
Chuck Norris.
We could plan out our season now without Steph. She'd be mad. They
That's
got
what
in.
she gets for loading a float.
She's like, I didn't get input. I'm like, well, most time no one gets input. I usually pick the movies.
Yeah.
So, because it's fun for me to watch.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You're gonna like the next one. I don't know. You may not, but it's not this one. It's
Are you
not.
talking to me or Caleb?
You.
The
You may
live
have actually
one.
I think you might have seen it actually.
Is it Star Trek?
No,
Oh, thank God.
sort of.
I thought we.
Oh.
Yeah, we're not doing Star Trek this season.
We're
remember?
not doing Star Trek.
I believe nothing he says, Caleb. And it's going to be Star Trek the 7th. And now they've saved the whales and they're doing something else.
No, we'll just jump back to Next Generation again, and
It'll
that
be
way
like
you're
the
even more
7th
confused. And
where
it's
Star Trek and Star Wars mix, like a crossover.
that's
movie.
that's never gonna happen, especially with the way Paramount holds the Star Trek rights.
Star Trek's gonna be flying over
Star
while people are doing lightsaber battles. And they're gonna be like,
I just like how it's just Star Treks are flying over, and not just they're the who are
like,
they? Those
"Actually,
people are
sir,
the
this
they're
is
the
not
Star
the
Trek.
right
those people are the
area."
Star Treks.
They
We
have
need T-shirts that
light
say Star
sticks
Treks.
here.
We
We
like
have
the
to
Star
go.
Treks. Got some whales we're gonna take back in time in our Star Treks.
Would it be Trek Wars?
You know what though? Star Wars
Fun
and
fact.
Star Wars and Star Trek share the space whales, just different types.
So, fun fact: Shatner did come out with Tech Wars. That was close.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
yeah.
He was off by one letter.
he went on purposely, I think.
Yeah, avoiding
Oh! I didn't mention this in either show. I won't mention it now. I'm traveling.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yep.
I'm going to West Virginia to see a Star Trek.
Oh,
I'm flying to West Virginia to see a Star Trek movie.
Okay.
I could watch this on many streaming devices
Oh.
or the copies of it that I own at my house. We've watched it on the podcast. I like it so much. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Is it the one that you made me watch that was ridiculous?
They're all ridiculous.
Where they're at a bar and it's like you see everybody in it. Is it Final Encounter? Something Encounter?
God, you're getting so cool. You're really getting good at this. That's First Contact.
Thank you.
But no, it's Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
yeah. I was about
The
to
one
say
we saw
it's gotta
with-
be Wrath of Khan. Yeah.
With we saw that with Uncle Henry. That's me and Uncle Henry
Yeah.
like that one.
He had my back on that. I really like him.
Well, Uncle Henry will be back.
Yeah.
So I own multiple copies on multiple. I have VHS. I have DVD. I have the director's cut Blu-ray. I own it on Laserdisc.
Is it because you get to eat it or eat a hamburger from your favorite place while you watch it?
No,
Is that why you're doing it?
no, I wouldn't fly because. But no, also tomorrow evening. Tuesday evening, I will be having a hamburger. But the Wednesday's the event. No, William Shatner's doing a Q&A after the showing of
Oh.
it. That man is like 91 years
yeah,
old.
he's
Is
up
it
there.
really?
Right.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like it is that to me, that's a one in a lifetime opportunity. So, me, Kim, and her husband Chris are going, so I get to see them. I'm flying up on a Tuesday. I'm flying back on. I'm literally just flying up for this event
And a hamburger.
and a hamburger. But so I'm really
And a
really.
biscuit?
Oh yeah, it's two. Yeah, it's. I like how I can't remember any of the movie stuff,
Yeah.
but the food stuff.
But
from
I
West
don't
Vir-
remember the biscuit
only-
place name
See,
or
I-
the hamburger place name.
Yeah.
I just know you had a hamburger and a biscuit.
We need to take you to.
Don't forget your glasses.
We'll take you to. I gotta take.
Last time you were an hour and away, you had to turn around and get your glasses.
That was a couple of times back, but yeah, I had
But
to go.
see,
I had to
I
go.
remember things, y'all. Do I remember the name of your glasses? No.
I don't remember the name. I don't know what the name of my glasses
Yeah.
are.
But I do hope you enjoy it.
I'm going to go nerd out for William Shatner. And William Shatner's coming to Huntsville Pop Expo, so I'm going to meet him and get stuff signed there. But
That's in April.
that's in April, yes.
Speaking of nerding out, does your shirt say something?
Yes.
I've actually been wondering this whole time.
So my shirt, can you see the shirt?
Yes.
That shirt?
Yep.
It is an acronym.
Okay.
Do you know what an acronym is?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So don't worry about it.
Is that what the acronym is for? Don't worry about it?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
Dwight.
I can see a W on that one. I can see a D. Okay.
Squared with two dots above it. It is in the language of Krakoan. I almost got through that without laughing. So yeah, my
You've
shirt.
hit the point in this show where I might be too cool for it. I have to go now.
My shirt is in Krakoan. Wait. Oh, just wait, honey. Just wait.
It's not over.
Krakoan, you may ask.
I didn't.
Yeah. She explicitly avoided asking.
What is Krakoan? Krakoan is the language of the X-Men in Marvel Comics. And so they made an alphabet, and there are shirts, and this
Wife,
shirt,
we have to go.
this shirt is from my favorite podcast. That's not one that we do,
Okay.
and it's called Cerebro, and it's this flamboyant gay man named Connor, who talks about X-Men like he loves it, And
Is
it's
Wolverine his favorite?
no,
Would he like to cuddle him?
no. But
seems very cuddly.
I listened to on the way back and forth from the toy show. I listened to the Forge episode, and that was about 20 minutes of how much he wanted to do things to Forge. I think that was hilarious.
I don't know who Forge is.
He's a Native American inventor.
So what you're saying is you'd be his type.
I don't think I'd be his type, but
The shirt says I'm available. That's what it says.
I mean,
Connor.
I love Connor. We're not each other's type. We're not into. I'm not into dudes. He's not into me. So it's
Might be your
like,
child.
so he might be one of my children, but he is that
Like
podcast.
daddy issues. That's why he wants to cuddle the Native American.
Oh, he's never going to be a guest. I really want him to be. He's on my bucket list for guests.
No, please come. I'll be on my best behavior.
It's like the same level of best behavior as for Uncle.
Uncle Henry loves me.
Uncle Henry.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's true. Uncle
Yeah.
Henry adores you.
That's fair, yeah.
It's
Adores you.
It's Stephanie that.
He loves Stephanie too, but he adores Justina.
Yeah.
I mean, just adores Justina.
So I'm so sorry. I interrupted you talking about your podcast so many times. But
No.
So he had 20 minutes where he talked about his
What he-
X-Men.
yeah, well, him and his other gay friend talked about how much they wanted to do. It was hilarious. But he works in publishing out in California, and during the pandemic, because you couldn't go anywhere, and he's got anxiety anyway, and so he just started doing this podcast. It blew up. He's been in the New York Times about it. It's a big.
Does he only talk about X-Men?
It just talks about. He
Yeah.
just picks a character a week, and like I've learned, like I like reading comics. I love the X-Men are my favorite comics. He's talking about stuff I have never heard of, and
Interesting.
and right, and so I get that joke, but it's funny. It's just funny,
That's wonderful.
and it's tagline. It's a homo and his friends talking about homo superior, and I just giggle every time I hear it. He also does accents that are interesting, and like there's a Southern X-Men character, Rogue. She's from Mississippi.
Oh gosh.
And every time he does her, like, I pay for Patreon so I don't have to listen to it with ads, but he does the ad reads as X-Men characters, so I listen to it with ads because it's hilarious.
That's fun.
And so shout out to I'll put in, how you can find it. It's
Yeah.
if you like comics, it's one of the best things out
And then
there.
you got, I mean, I've seen some because you show me some TikToks they've done.
So
And
what they'll do, they'll take segments of like things that they've said and they put it with the comics and make videos out of it. And for TikTok and YouTube and stuff,
Yeah.
it has been that's how I discovered it, honestly, because if it came up on my Twitter feed, I kept giggling about it. I was like, I'll give this show a chance, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's like, and they're usually long. They're longer than ours. Like the Forge episode, and it's Forge. It's a guy you like Wolverine. You've heard of that guy, right? Forge is a guy like he's a deep cut guy. They talked about him for 4 hours.
That's fantastic.
And it was hilarious.
To keep you entertained for 4 hours on one character.
I was just like, I giggled and giggled. And look, Forge, I can sum up Forge and real quick. He is a Native American. He's a Cheyenne mutant whose power is his invention. So he just comes up with stuff and he can build things like Tony Stark and Iron Man.
Yeah.
Who stepped away from doing magic because his family wanted to do magic to destroy this guy called the Adversary. And throughout his 40-year publishing history, he just has to go back and forth and fight the fucking Adversary all the damn time. It's
That's it?
That's it. It's like he shows up and is like, oh, fuck, I got to fight the Adversary. Then he's like, we defeat him once for
He
all.
stops tinkering and he goes,
Yeah, right.
and then he comes back and tinkers.
And occasionally he dated Storm for a while and then started Mystique for a little while. And that's about it.
Oh, he's getting around. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So man, it's been my favorite thing. So I bought the merch. He's got a shirt, and when he gets to points of the story that he does not like or is not major, he just like don't worry about it. So Dwight's become a thing, and so they so that's why it's like we'll get to so don't worry about it, and then it goes into the next part, and so
That's fun.
It's good. He's funny. He's really really funny.
Do you know a podcast that I started listening to that I absolutely love?
What's that?
Good Mythical Morning.
Oh, Good Mythical is good.
yeah.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, I love them so much that I'm jealous of everybody that's been around since their inception.
Right.
Because I feel like that's, like, how much I love them. Like, I got geeked out about their Mythicon last year.
Mhm.
Like, I'm real into it.
Good.
To the point where I was like, we need to go this year. They don't have it, like, announced anywhere. But if they have one, I don't care how much it is.
Right.
We're just going to have to go because they're now my best friends. Like, I'll be a guest on their show whenever they want me to.
Right.
Right now.
We'll get them on.
Like,
Well.
I love Good Mythical Morning so much. They're
Have
ear biscuits.
you seen their ads, the fake ads they did?
Yes. And what's funny is after I started, like, I found them, I was actually looking up commercial examples for a shoot that we were doing
Right.
for a pitch. And so I was looking up a specific type of commercial, and I kept getting these where I was like, God, I just must be, like, really absorbed with Rhett and Link because I swear that looks like them. Because I had looked up something different.
Right.
And then I just realized that, then you see on the side on YouTube, like, your coming up ones or whatever. It's just all bad commercials they did. So, like, I like them so much that even YouTube's like, we know what you like. So I'm watching these. I was like, that's fantastic. And then I was like, it looks like Rhett and Link, though. And it was.
Yeah.
I watched a few of them.
My favorite is the Coleman trailer because it's in Alabama. But
I don't think I've seen that one.
we'll watch it for you later today.
Okay.
The Coleman trailer one's really, really good. And then the Red Houses was the biggest, the famous one for they did.
I just love them
At
so
the
much.
Red House.
Like, it's a problem. Link is becoming a DJ, by the way. I know their lives. Like, we're best friends.
See,
and
one day they will know about our lives. We talk
They
about our
will.
lives all the time.
They
So
will.
the 5 people who listen to this podcast really are into it, though. So, hey, I love all 5 of you.
if
and
one
you
of
know who
those
you
is
are.
Rhett and or Link.
Well, I guess now we're saying goodbye to Corpus Christi, Texas.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
This is Scotty saying this is our contribution to the multiverse. Go out and make yours!
Bye.
That's the show!